Good afternoon. My name is Marjorie. For those of you who don't know, I was born in Iran and I lived in Kentucky. We moved to Kentucky when we came here in the U.S. And when I got married, my husband um, is African American, born in Kentucky, who is a veteran. Uh, I am so excited. I've been wanting to talk about this issue for the last week, but it's been kind of busy with everything going on. And today we got a vice president candidate on the Democrat side who's a veteran, a 21-year veteran. And that was just announced this morning. And it made this video even more important because today, I think it was either ABC or but I think it was ABC 15, Arizona. They talked about an issue of a veteran who was in the parking lot and was having heart issues in the VA hospital parking lot, and nobody from the VA helped this man. He had to call 911 to get help, and the fire department had to take him to another hospital because the VA in Phoenix, Arizona, you can look up the thing on ABC 15. I'll put it in the comments later. They refuse to help this gentleman. There's a big old hospital, for those of you who don't know. Phoenix has a huge VA hospital. They have about at least an acre and a half of land. And let me tell you, they do have an ER. They do have a huge hospital. They could have helped this man. They knew that he was out there. They refused, flat out refused to help a veteran. How sick can you get that you don't do that? And um, they have a policy that if a person is in the parking lot of the VA in Phoenix, Arizona, they will not help you, regardless of what the emergency is. They flat out refuse to help veterans who are in the parking lot. Do you all understand how retarded that is? Flat out retarded. Um, but that's how the VA is. Robert is a veteran. He is disabled. He has full insurance outside of the VA. Um, so because of that, he goes to Mayo Hospital for almost everything. There are some things that the VA provides, but those are national. It's not, you know, for Arizona only. It's for every veteran anywhere in the country where they provide home health and things like that, and durable goods. Some of the durable goods, what you have to understand is this: you can have full Medicare and full secondary insurance, but durable goods are not covered by Medicare. Even things like wheelchair, and I'm not talking about, you know, fancy thing or like massage or acupuncture or anything like that. I'm talking about things like wheelchairs, shower chairs, things that people who are disabled and can't walk well, and things like that. Medicare does not cover. The VA does. Um, but that's any VA in the country. It's not just Arizona. So this is why it's important to have someone in office who understands and who actually respects veterans, because you have the previous president, the I'm not going to say his name, the one who was in before President Biden, who refused to go to the funeral service for veterans because he called them losers. And then he said about Senator John McCain, "Oh, I like people who don't become prisoners of war and get and do so many years as prisoners of wars." That's the kind of president he was. That's the kind of anti-veteran that he was. We currently have someone in office who lost his son, uh, who was a veteran, and served and died because he was a serving veteran. And also, the current candidate the vice president candidate for the Democrats is also a veteran, 21 years. The other guy said he had a foot a bone spur and didn't want to serve. For those of you who don't know, medical insurance is so expensive. Robert had to possibly spend one night this week at the hospital, and the mayor changed their mind. They said, no, we're not going to do the test right now. You don't have to spend the night there. But because it's a rehab facility, they really have to pay for them to keep the room. And Robert would have had to, we would have had to pay $350 out of pocket on credit card. But they changed their mind, so we didn't have to. And that's just out of pocket for one night for them to hold the room. Because otherwise, if he went to Mayo, then Mayo would have to find another rehab place, which would have maybe taken another week. And he would have been without medical care. And the VA doesn't help out with any of that extra emergency that somebody might need. Now, 350 might not sound alike, but if you sound like a whole lot, but if you're disabled on fixed income, 350 is a lot. Um, so, when you, as an Americans, you have to understand medical expenses out of pocket, even if you're 100% insured, even if you have more than one insurance, you still have to pay for things out of pocket. Medicare and VA don't cover everything. There's a lot of stuff that you have to pay out of pocket. So, and those things that are out of pocket are expensive, trust me. Um, so, when you want to vote or when you want to say, how do I help a veteran? Vote. Because I'm telling you, VA in Arizona, I don't know about all of them across the country. The one in Phoenix, Arizona, is ranked as one of the worst VAs in the United States. The one in Tucson is 1,000 times better. I don't have any bad thing to say about the Tucson VA. They're awesome. But the one in Phoenix is literally it's ranked as one of the worst VA hospitals in the country. They've never, I mean, when we moved to Arizona in 2000, in 24 years, and I keep up with them, they have never had a good reputation. Uh, the thing that you can do to help a vet is to vote local, not just nationally, but also local, because the governor and them can help. So please vote. Please support veterans. I'm telling you, the cost of even if you have Medicare, the cost of medical services for people with disability is outrageously high, especially now for people who are on fixed income, because Social Security, and I understand that's political too. You can get into politics as to that both sides aren't really doing as much as they should or they could for Social Security. But Social Security only increased 3% last time. Uh, 3%. Uh, you look at your food grocery shopping compared to 4 years ago, is outrageously high. Social Security did not go up in accordance to that. So you need to understand that medical expenses for people on fixed income is even more outrageously high uh, than for people who aren't on fixed. I mean, for anybody, I should say, it's high for everybody. Because I have a friend, because her husband has diabetes, he he works. They both work, but he's hired as not a full time employee, but as a contractor. He does computer stuff. And because he's hired as a contractor, they don't have to pay for insurance. This husband and wife, they're around uh, I'm 57, they're around my age. She's a year older than me, I think. They pay $1,600 a month in Arizona, in Tempe, Arizona. They pay $1,600 a month. I don't. This was last year. I haven't asked her about it this year. I don't know if it's gone up or down. this year. But as of last year, she was paying $1,600 every month for insurance. And she had, as of last year, she had a $5,000 deductible. I mean, do you understand? $5,000. Most people, even if you both have full time jobs, nobody's got $5,000 laying around. That's got to go on a credit card or something. So think about it. Uh, I'm not. Uh, I'm not saying as to how you should vote, um, but think about what is, and also with regard to getting into wars and stuff. The VA currently isn't taking care of its veterans that are currently inactive. How are we going to get into another war when the VA isn't taking care of the current veterans? VA is extremely underfunded. It's the people that work for the VA aren't bad people, but if they don't have the money to hire medical staff, they don't have the money. That you can't just come up with money to run a huge agency like that with over 9 million veterans. It medical expense is very high. As soon as you put medical grade on anything, I don't care what it is, it could be just a pair of plain eyeglasses, but as soon as you put medical, the price goes up by 500%. Uh, so think about that. Think about what is in the best interest. I think most American people, if they truly looked at the facts, not alternative facts, but the true facts, and looked at what is in the best interest of this country, then they would vote the right way. So I'm asking you to vote in what is not only your best interest, vote in the best interest of veterans. They're the underpaid, they did their service. They shouldn't have to be living in poverty because they served their country. That ain't right. It's not the American way, and we should take care of our veterans. I understand I'm biased because I'm married to a veteran, but I'm also asking for you to vote as if you were had a family member, a brother, sister, or spouse, or whatever, who's a veteran. Imagine what you would want for them, and act accordingly. Do you want somebody who's president who won't go to a funeral because, oh, they shouldn't have died? They're suckers. Are every American veteran who went and served a sucker? Is that how you talk to about American veterans? Do you say, I'm a Democrat, but Senator McCain, even though he wasn't part of my party, Senator McCain served his country. He did the honorable thing. They were going to let Senator McCain go home because they found out that he was from a rich family and all that. They were going to let him loose, but he said no. If I go, all of my people who were in my platoon will go, and so he refused to leave. He could have gone home, and you make fun of him for saying, "Oh, I don't like people who become POWs," and you make fun of a senator who's he even last year he made fun of the dead senator. How low down can you get? So vote according to your conscience, but please do vote. Thank you. I hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed year and that you be safe. But I'm asking for you to vote. It's a life and death. Trust me, Robert is alive because he has other insurance that he can go to Mayo Hospital. I calculated over the 24 years that he's been going to Mayo. Mayo has gotten paid at least 20 million or more. And that's not how much they charge. I'm saying how much they've gotten paid. 20 million minimum, at least 20 million. With the amount of surgeries and hospitalizations, Robert is in and out of there, every other day almost. the minimum they've gotten paid in 24 years, over $20 million. Insurance, medical expenses, it ain't cheap, people. And it ain't no joke. If you don't have insurance, you will die in this country. You cannot live if you don't have health insurance. It's just that plain simple. It is a matter of life and death. You need to vote according to that, please. Much love and blessings. Thank you.